Okay, this meeting session now is being recorded. Good morning, everybody. This is Indira. I'm with the Iowa After School Alliance and provide the technical assistance and support to the 21st Century Network. Welcome to our September 22nd, 2015 21st Century webinar. Today we are joined by Outreach Inc.'s Hunger Free Iowa's Initiative presentation on their Hunger Warriors program. The Hunger Warrior program works with youth groups and student organizations across the state, creating Hunger Warriors through community engagement and meal packing events. Today, our presenter is Kimberly Johnston. She's an education specialist Vista at Outreach Inc. And I welcome Kimberly at this time, and feel free to introduce yourself and begin your presentation.
All right, good morning, everyone. My name is Kimberly Johnson, and I am an Maricopa Vista Education Specialist with Outreach Incorporated. We're a nonprofit organization here in Des Moines. I want to thank you, Indira, and everyone with the After School Alliance for inviting me to be part of your webinar today. In this webinar, I'd like to inform you who Outreach is as a nonprofit company, what we can do to offer help to those affected by poverty and food insecurities locally, nationally, and globally, and how we implement those concepts and strategies into a plan to foster community awareness and action. And just looking at the agenda, I'm going to take a few minutes here in a minute to explain how Outreach got started. I'll touch in on the Hunger Free Iowa initiative a little bit and then dive right into our Hunger Warrior program by showing you examples of our lessons and activities that I would like to use this year in the state of Iowa. So our founders, Floyd Hammer and Kathy Hamilton, began Outreach in 2004 after returning from Tanzania on a trip with friends. Floyd was asked to join them to help remodel an old legacy hospital and to build an AIDS hospice. As a retired construction company owner and an owner of many other successful businesses, he was a perfect fit for the job. They were shocked, however, at the desperation and hunger in the region and literally saw children dying in front of them. In response, the couple purchased truckloads of maize, but understanding the villagers had practically nothing with which to trade, they were stunned the next morning when they saw hundreds of women carrying beautifully hand-woven baskets to trade for the corn. Kathy asked the elders of the village what they needed most, and everyone gave the same answer: food, safe water, medical care, and education. Upon returning to the U.S., Floyd and Kathy traveled to Washington, D.C. to speak with representatives and were completely taken aback at the number of homeless individuals, families, and children going hungry in their own country. 1 out of every 2 children are food insecure in D.C. That was when they then made the same promise to help our great nation and our beloved state of Iowa to provide food, safe water, medical care, and education to children and those in need. In collaboration with the Hunger Free Iowa Initiative, we provide platforms for informational meetings to encourage hunger dialogues between community leaders and members of the community to brainstorm for solutions on hunger issues in and around their cities and towns. This can include business owners, religious groups, stakeholders, the ag sectors, schools, programs associated with schools, health departments, and civic organizations. As the education specialist, it will be my responsibility to reach out to the youth in as many elementary, middle, and high schools, as well as colleges, universities, and school-related organizations across Iowa this year through the Hunger Warrior program. Using a series of age-appropriate curriculums, lessons, and activities, I hope to educate and bring real-life, hands-on experiences to foster knowledge and empathy towards poverty and hunger in our schools and communities throughout Iowa. Ultimately, our goal is to create a desire in our youth to take on the Hunger Warrior role of responsibility and leadership through community engagement. As a result, this next generation is learning about hunger-related issues globally and in their communities, engaging in service learning through packaging meals for the food insecure, and also advocating to end hunger statewide as well as locally. As you all know, schools are the foundation to hunger-free Iowa. Hunger directly affects academic involvement and achievement. Food insecurity is generally hidden, and education is a critical component to ending hunger. We need the school's inputs within the hunger space, since 1 in every 5 children is food insecure in Iowa. Here's where I'll start showing you some of the lessons and activities that I'll be utilizing across Iowa this year. The first lesson is called the Very Hungry Iowa Caterpillar, and it is targeted for preschool through 1st grade. I received this through the Iowa Agriculture in the Classroom, the Iowa Agriculture Literacy Foundation. And here the students begin to understand common agricultural products from Iowa, how they were raised and produced. They will be able to understand and apply knowledge of good eating habits by learning the importance of putting the right kinds of food into our bodies to be sure that they stay strong and healthy. Following the lesson and activity, we will obviously share in a cute little healthy snack. The second activity, called the Bag Game, was taken from the Hunger 101 curriculum through the Food Bank of Iowa in Des Moines. This is geared towards 2nd grade, and the objective here is to demonstrate the impact of unequal access to food and stimulate discussions about the different ways we can respond to food insecurity within our community. Now, this activity is a little profound, but I think it's important for the students to see about food insecurity through this activity. Here they will be sitting in a circle. They will be given a brown bag, and one by one they'll be opening the bag to realize that they're all getting different amounts of snack items. One person's bag will be completely full. Several will have a few treats or snacks. There will be one person that will have nothing in their sack. So just kind of letting the students absorb what's happening, I'll start asking questions. For example, how did it feel to be the one who got the most snacks? What was your initial thought? What about the one student who got nothing? Give us your initial thought. And then how can we come up with a solution for distributing today's snacks so everyone has enough? And then running that into how can we do that in our community? The next activity is geared towards the 4th and 5th grade. This is called the Science of Sometimes Food, and I found this curriculum through the USDA My Plate curriculum. Here, the students will be able to identify foods with added sugars and solid fats. They will be able to explain why foods with added sugars and solid fats should be eaten only some of the time, and they will learn about healthier food options to choose from instead, called switcheroos. This activity is fairly lengthy, so you are able to make this into 3 different phases of activities. The first, I would start with a discussion talking about what is your favorite snack or food to eat. And as we have this discussion, I'll make a chart and we'll write down some ideas, whether or not they're healthy or unhealthy choices. As this is being done, I will have a table on display with different types of food and beverage items that they may have listed on their chart, such as a can of soda, a cup of orange juice, fat-free milk, chocolate milk, perhaps some cookies, microwave popcorn, an apple, and a candy bar. Then I'll have the students pair up and try to guess and decide how many teaspoons of sugar are found in each of those items. After that discussion has initiated, I'll then have the students place sugar cubes in front of the items to actually realize how much added sugar they are being put into their bodies. So this one is kind of a neat hands-on activity. Then I will offer them either a choice to eat a sometime snack or a healthy snack, so that'll be their choice afterwards. The next activity is called Mapping Iowa Agriculture. This is geared towards 6th grade. And again, I got this from the Iowa Agricultural Literacy Foundation curriculum. Here the purpose is the students will identify products they use every day that come from Iowa agriculture. Using a variety of these 19 items made from products in Iowa, we'll use a large Iowa map location markers, and mystery cards. The students will then partner up and solve the mystery card and connect the item to the correct location it was produced on the map. So we'll get pictures of a jar of honey, John Deere tractors, an ear of corn, egg cartons, hamburger packages, aronia berries, a bottle of maple syrup, and a bag of popcorn. This is a great way for students to see where these products are grown or produced across the state of Iowa. The next activity is geared towards 7th and 8th grade students. It's called 30 Ways in 30 Days. Again, I got this from the Hunger 101 curriculum. And here the students will experience how simple it is to raise the awareness of hunger in Iowa by learning how to make a difference doing little things every day for 1 month. Some examples could be clean out your closet and donate the clothes to a local organization, host a food drive, organize a hunger awareness walk, or give up pop and vending machine snacks for 1 week and calculate your savings to donate to Hunger Relief. I thought this was a great way to bring home ideas to share with their family members and neighbors and get them thinking about hunger awareness as well. Getting into the high school grades geared towards 9th and 10th, this activity is called Poverty Environmental Justice. It's an editorial cartoon, and I received this through the Teaching Tolerance, a project of the Southern Poverty Law Center. With Teaching Social Justice, the students will be given a copy of the cartoon, which addresses the connections between poverty and damage to the natural environment. Using a visual composition chart, students will complete the chart to compare the visual elements of the cartoon that refer to quote-unquote rich and poor, which we will discuss these terms ahead of time. Looking over the information gathered, students can compare the relationship between poverty and pollution. Lastly, students will answer questions on what satire exposes in the cartoon and what point the cartoon is making. Lastly, this activity is geared towards the 11th and 12th grade students. We can also use this at the collegiate level, and it's called Family Budget. Again, taken with a Hunger 101 curriculum. Here, students will be given real-life family scenarios where they create monthly budgets with given monthly income and salary, following MyPlate guidelines and being restricted to only 3 specific shopping locations. This experience will increase awareness about the gap that often exists between wages and expenses and will illustrate how access to affordable, nutritious food in the U.S. and Iowa is limited. Last year, the education specialist, Vista, did a lesson and incorporated our beans and rice meal in a cooking demo with Des Moines East High Student Club East High Cares. They enjoyed the activity so much, the kids decided to create a recipe booklet to include 27 different recipes from the beans and rice meal they got to taste. We are planning on doing another activity this year, and our hope is that they will be excited to create another recipe book using our newest meal, pasta with tomato basil sauce. Outreach has 4 meals we package on site and around the state and nation at meal packaging events. They are our international food.
Kimberly?
And our pasta with tomato basil sauce. Here are a few pictures and photos of kids engaging in our packaging events and enjoying the initiative of community involvement. I will close today with thoughts from our Vice President of Private and Public Partnerships from Outreach Incorporated, Rick McNary. He wrote an open editorial for the Wichita Eagle on September 12, 2015, called Change How We Talk About Hunger. In it, he states, changing the way we talk about hunger means we quit talking about it as a humanitarian issue solved by charity. Instead, hunger is an agricultural issue, it's a health issue, a national security issue, an economic issue, and a social justice issue. To change the way we talk about hunger, we must combine development with relief. Example, give a man a fish, he will eat for a day, teach the man to fish, and he will eat for a lifetime. Finally, he states, we can end hunger, the world's most solvable problem, but we have to change the way we talk about it. There are multiple ways to get involved with the Hunger Warrior Program and Outreach Incorporated. To learn, you can contact me at education@outreachprograms.org. Our phone number is listed here, 641-486-2550. We are located at 7401 South Highway 69, Des Moines, Iowa, 50320. I would like to thank you so much for inviting me to share these lessons and activities with you today, and we'll leave the rest of the remainder of the time for questions and answers.